As a professional realtor, what do you prioritize first? Hi, it's Maria Quattrone. And as a professional real estate agent or broker, what are some things that you should prioritize first in your day? So, obviously, well, to me anyway, the first thing you should prioritize is your health and your spirituality and taking care of yourself with good nutrients and food. But from a standpoint of real estate, the things that you should prioritize first. Number one is spending your AM calling your opportunities. And I would say there's leads, but I hate that word. So opportunities, calling the opportunities in the morning. Then following up with people that you need to follow up with that you met with last week, the week before that, the month before that. So pipeline business. And then, so in this order is how you should prioritize your day. If you have an offer for a buyer that needs to go out, that trumps other activities. Since you, as a buyer's agent, don't have control, the listing agent does. You have to get the buyer's offer in as soon as humanly possible. So that's number one thing. If you have a buyer, you want to get the buyer's offer in right away. Number two thing after that is listing contracts. You want to get the listing contract out after you get the buyer's offer out. So if you have a listing you're working on and you have to choose, do I do the buyer offer? Do I do a listing first? Do I do an offer that came in? You're going to make sure you get out the buyer's offer. Then you're going to make sure you get the listing contract out. A third thing you're going to do is work on the offer that you received on one of your listings, because that's something that you can control. You got to reach out to the seller anyway and let them know this is the time that you can speak about that. And so you have a plan for your day. This is how we prioritize at our office in the back office of what things are most important to do. So sometimes we have a lot of offers that need to go out in a day, and we have to stop what we're doing. Back office prepares all the offers, and then they send them out. Then they'll send out the listing contracts, and then whoever's negotiating the listing offer, they'll go ahead and they'll be doing that. So these things in our office happen simultaneously. But if you don't have an assistant and you're doing this on your own, this is how we would prioritize how things get done. You don't want to work on negotiating an offer for your listing if you already did not send the offer out for a buyer. In this competitive environment with low inventory, you have to get that buyer's offer in ASAP. They'll be calling. Here's the other thing. The agents will say, I'm calling for all offers. And then they can decide at any time. The seller can decide to take another offer and call off the calling all offers. They can decide to call that off. So you got to get that. You have to get your buyer's offer in first. No matter what they say, it doesn't matter. You want to get that offer in. You want to make sure that the offer is tightened up. You want to remove as many contingencies as you can for that offer. Okay. And then from there, we're going to get the listing contract out, and then we're going to work on an offer that comes in. Now, that is how the day should be structured. After that, you've already done your prospecting in the morning. So that's from like 8:30 to 12. People say 8:30 to 12. In this environment, I would say you at least have to dedicate 2.5 to 3 hours to making calls and follow-up calls, sending videos, sending video texts, sending text messages, sending emails, all of the above, to meet people where they're at in how they want to be communicated with. Sometimes when I send a text, I get text back. I'll send an email. They never even open the email. Or I call and I get a text back after I leave the message. So you're figuring out how people want to be communicated with. is really important. The other thing I want to mention today is how much by when. Well, what does that exactly mean? That means that how much by when. So I'll give you an example. You send out the listing contract and you call the seller and you said, I just DocuSigned it to you. Did you receive it? Yes, I did. Great, Mr. Seller. Will you be able to sign the contract via DocuSign today? And if they say, yes, great. What time do you think? Do you think I can have it back by 8 p.m.? Yes, great. Now we know to expect the listing contract signed back tonight by 8 o'clock. Now, if we don't do that and you have open-ended timeframes of no deliverable delivered, then you're constantly chasing people down for things. And you don't want to be doing that. So always having deliverables, always having a next step. When you're meeting with the buyer, they didn't like the house. Okay, what's the next step? What are we doing after this? Always have a follow-up plan in place so that you always have the wheels continuing to push forward, to move forward. Otherwise, you leave it open-ended and the buyer or seller or agent don't know what the next step is. So you need to constantly be asking, and I remind, how much by when? So it's a deliverable. You could say, someone will say, oh, I want to work on my videos this week. I want to get better at video. Okay, so how many videos you're going to do this week? And by when? So it's specific, it's measurable, right? And you can quantify it. You can quantify it. So how many videos you're going to do, when are you going to do them, when are all of them going to be completed? So you can use it in any part of your life, how much by when. It's something I learned years ago, and you're always closing the loop. You don't want to leave things ever open-ended. You want to always have a next step. So today, do not forget 3 things as a professional realtor that you're going to prioritize in this order. After you take care of yourself, you have your calls to make, your daily follow-up calls in your database, and into your follow-up from appointments that you had the last few weeks. And then in this order, number 1, write the offer and get the offer out for the buyer. Number 2, get the listing contract out to the seller and make sure you're calling every time you send document, asking the buyers or sellers, did they receive it? When will they sign it? Number 3, you're going to negotiate that offer that came in on one of your listings, and you're going to ask the agent, once you negotiated that, when they will have it back with the client's signature. So, top 3 tips of the day. If you found value in this, please share it with somebody else and follow me. Also, you can drop me in the note in the comments, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. Until the next time.